Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this video tutorial, I'm going to explain you how one can print data in x86 assembly onto the screen. And since we are talking about data, so data can be in any format like decimal, hexadecimal, or integer. So we will be using Irvine built-in library functions. And what are those functions? These are the built-in library functions, and these functions assume that values are present in these registers. Okay, and if you follow these registers, these are simply EAX or accumulator, extended accumulator. Only specific case, this case is different. And what is that case? It is write character. So we know that character is a basically byte wise data, and byte can easily be stored in 8-bit location. So if you observe here, it is the only uh, location which is 8-bit. Otherwise all other accumulators are 32-bit. So for write character, data should be present in AL, and rest of the other functions, they assume that data is present in extended AX or extended accumulator register. Let's say I want to print 10 onto the screen. So what I will do, move EAX comma 10. So 10 is right now stored in accumulator, and I can simply use call is to call the function, and function is write decimal. So it will simply print the value of EAX onto the screen, which is right now 10. I can also use this call write integer. The key difference between the write decimal and write integer, the decimal is going to print only unsigned numbers, but write integer works for the sign as well. So for example, uh, I'm storing some negative value. Let's say move EAX comma -4. So, and and in this case, if I write call write decimal, it won't print the correct value because -4 is not decimal value. For that, I should use write integer. Okay, so that's the key difference between write decimal and write integer. Similarly, if I want to print some character or uh, ASCII value, so I will be using what character. So move AL comma, let's say ASCII of A, and single quote indicates they are in ASCII. So what should I do? I want to print A, so I will simply write call write character, which will print the value of AL onto the screen. And similarly, you can use the hexadecimal. So let's say I move EAX comma 10. 10 is a decimal number. And if I use here call write decimal, it will print value in decimal, which is 10. But if I use call write hex, it will print it in hexadecimal. So 10's equivalent in hexadecimal would be what? A. So we will see that A will be printed on screen. Let's also verify these examples in Visual Studio environment. This is the same sample program which I have already written in the previous video tutorials. I will just change the instructions here. Move EAX comma 10, and if we use call write decimal, it will simply print the value in decimal. Okay, and if I use call write hex, it will simply print the value in hex. And let's say just to change, move EAX comma -5, because I want to also test the integer value. So you will simply use call write integer for integer, and call let's say I also want to print some character. So let's say move AL comma character I want to print is M. So M, and call write character. Okay, and and after every print I want to feed a line feed. So I will simply use a built-in function call crlf to print it on the next line. So every time I print a value, I also feed it a line feed, so that every time new print should go on to the next line. So the code is complete. I will also create a breakpoint over here just to run this code in debugging mode, so that we can see the effect of every line, line by line. Let's build it. Yes, it is successfully builded. I have already created a breakpoint over here, so I will simply run it. Let me just close those unimportant windows, and this one is not needed. So these are the register. So if you see, uh, I have just moved the value of EAX right now, and now next line is this one. This line is going to execute. So let's say I'm gonna show you this console side by side. So what I've done, I've just put this console in front of you. So I will execute here and we will see the result. So I'm going to call this function call write decimal. So it will print the value of AX in decimal format. So let's see what is going to happen. 10 is print. So see, we have just executed this write decimal and we can see that 10 is printed on the screen. Okay. And next line is carriage return line feed. So it is going to jump to the next line. So my cursor is on the next line and now I'm calling write hex. Okay, this is write hex. So it means this 10 will be printed now in hexadecimal. So let's see. Yeah, if you see 000A, because it is a 32-bit value, uh, it was stored in 32-bit accumulator EAX. So 32-bit value. So only least 4-bit shows A and rest of them are 00. And now we will again use this line carriage return line feed to move the cursor onto the next line. Yes, my cursor is on next line and now I'm moving the new value -5 into accumulator. So and now I'm calling write integer. Okay, write integer means this negative value which I just feeded an accumulator will be printed. So -5. I hope you can see that this -5 is printed. And then again line feed, it cursor is moved. And now I'm moving character M into AL register. And now I'm going to write that write character, call write character. So see, M is printed. So that's how you can print any data which are present in your accumulator using these write functions which are built in Irvine library functions in x86 assembly language. Still, if you have any confusion, you can post your queries in comment section. Thank you so much for listening.